Do you see Jesus Christ
Travis Wayne Goodsell. So YouTube has it set up that I can have it so that all comments are held for review. This is helpful in preventing bullies and people from having a behind my back conversation. Because if somebody comments and I allow it to go through, and if I allow for all comments, people can then comment on that commenter and bully them without me knowing about it. But they can also get into a back and forth discussion behind my back. And so I've seen Mormons attempt that by telling commenters that I approved about how demented I am, or bullying them for going against the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so to stop all that bullying from Mormons, and from Christians too, and especially from trolls, I hold all comments for review. And so, in the held section, the comments are there, and I am allowed 4 choices: to approve it, to delete it, to report it, or to ban the person from viewing my channel video content ever after. And for the most part, it's done its job. There have been some scandals where people have gotten banned from my channel when I didn't ban them. There was the Stanford incident. It was not my fault, but I fixed it. But now Stanford isn't using that channel. It's using the other one. But I've always seen that once I click on one of them, it goes away into the next filing system. But I've noticed lately that when I approve a comment, not only does it do the pattern of me not being able to find it, because it's supposed to be put into the waiting for me to respond section, and not all comments that I approve get moved into that section. And so I have to pay attention to which video the person commented in order to find their comment. But the other week, caught YouTube banning my own comment replies to comments I approved, and not allowing me to see them. I'm able to see one reply, but it won't show me. It's banned me from my own video on my own channel. And so this is a behind-the-scenes bullying attack by YouTube, the Mormon employee, to silence my voice and prevent me from being treated normal. But today, somebody called me mentally retarded. So I reported it. Because not only did they call me mentally retarded, they then used that as the excuse to say that everything I say is fake news. And if you understand my content on my channel, it's about the Jewish religion of Joseph and the Book of Mormon. And so Mormons are extreme haters. They've always been extreme haters since Brigham Young. The church has never acknowledged the community of Christ. So when the transfer of the Community of Christ documents and temple to this organization, a still Mormon learned of a Joseph Smith document within his 1830 edition, in which he says monogamy is the way to go, no polygamy. But the church isn't the ones who promoted that. They're holding it. They're not letting Mormons generally see it. It's just this one particular Mormon who found out about it and was doing videos on his channel. I covered him the other day, going over it. He's only got a few videos, and they're all based on that document. That the church has been lying and covering it up, that Joseph was a monogamist. And so we will do the William Law video here. But YouTube would not remove it from my page. It was still left up on the screen, and I was unable to do anything with it. It was frozen there because I had already selected to report it. It now froze. I couldn't do anything with it. It won't go away. And so YouTube, by doing this new stunt, are wanting this to be the new normal. And as the pattern of practice for YouTube is, by filing a complaint, they then retaliate, which then the algorithms kick in as I'm the troublemaker now. And so then they tank my views again. And it's already tanked. The only way to tank it further is to get zeros across the screen. So, that's what we're having to deal with. So, in case there were one or two of you that saw my previous video, did you see the 2 new additional AIs that were not mentioned in the video? I thought, why not? Well, I'm doing the video, let's see what they are and put them in the video for you. So I did. First one was, is Joseph Smith's man like Moses in Doctrine and Covenants 103:16 the Jewish Christ from Deuteronomy 18:15? AI said yes. In the Doctrine and Covenants, Joseph Smith is the man who is likened unto Moses in section 103 verse 16. I just covered that video the other day. No, verse 21 is not verse 16. But the church has to do this. But in doing it, they caused a conundrum. But AI is too stupid to figure out the problem. So I then went and asked, is Joseph Smith the Jewish Messiah ben Joseph? Every Mormon knows it's yes. No, Joseph Smith is not the Jewish Messiah ben Joseph. He's the Messiah ben David. That's what AI says. The Messiah in verse 16 is Messiah ben David. 2 Nephi chapter 3 verse 5 makes it very clear Joseph Smith is Messiah ben Joseph. AI is not smart enough to figure this out. There's a big difference. For the Jews, Messiah ben Joseph is the one who prepares for the coming of Messiah ben David, and he is murdered. And Joseph Smith, sure enough, set up the church for the coming of Messiah ben David and was murdered, just as the Jewish prophecy of their Christs tell them. Joseph Smith is the fulfillment of the Jewish Christ, to prepare the way for the other Jewish Christ. And Joseph, by being the Jewish Christ, means that you, Mormons, are the Jewish fulfillment of Jewish scriptures, of Jewish prophecy, of the Jewish authors. You are not in any way, form, or fashion Christian. Okay? And so nobody in the world seems to know this information. It's just me. Avraham Gileadi, sort of, but he tried to claim that Jesus is Messiah ben David. And it can't. Because Messiah ben David is born as a human to human parents after Joseph Smith, not before. That's the Jewish Christ. But for Joseph to be Messiah ben David now causes some problems. Because in the Joseph Smith history, where they made the error, that I did the video the other day, verse 40, he also quoted the 3rd chapter of Acts, 22nd, 23rd verses, precisely as they stand in our New Testament. That's Deuteronomy 18:15. But Joseph Smith says there's a certain word there that I want you to know about, even though he quotes it, but doesn't quote it. He leaves it out and changes it to something else. Cut off. That's why I always tease you and say, did you look it up? You're not going to look it up, are you? Or I quote precisely as it stands in our New Testament. It's what I'm doing. It's to remind you. And so, continues, he said that prophet, Messiah ben David, was Christ, who comes after Messiah ben Joseph. And the church says it's Joseph Smith, who comes after Joseph Smith. But the day had not yet come when they who would not hear his, Messiah ben David's voice, should be cut off, or precisely as it stands in our New Testament. But soon would come. Kind of important. And yet, this is the problem. I'm going to make this its own separate video. We're doing quick videos today. So, yeah, I've already got pictures of the 2 AI things, picture from the chabad.org site on Messiah ben Joseph. Wikipedia, yeah, but it screws it up. And I've had that picture, but the chabad.org is better. It's more correct since it's from the Jews, not a Wikipedia page. Alrighty, so it's real simple. Your Christ, Mormons, is a Mormon. And so then you're supposed to know, when is he coming? Oh, we can use this one as the video then. Or... yeah, I think we can use it with this one. And so, he's supposed to come. Joseph tells you he's coming. Mormons believe it's Jesus. It can't be Jesus, but hypothetically, the church says it's Jesus. So how are you going to know when Jesus comes? And if you are unaware of Mormonism and its theology about Jesus, Jesus has a body of flesh and bone as tangible as man's. He's not Trinity of Christianity, which is not real from the First Creed. Homoousion means not real, because Constantine made up the word. And so Christians, they'll never know. They just have to feel his presence. And if you're Catholic, you have to first get approval from the Pope before you can have that feeling and share it with others. Like the one nun, Mother Teresa, she claims that she had a spiritual feeling that she was in the presence of Jesus. And so she wrote it all out and sent it to the Pope at the time. And the Pope read over it and agreed it was safe. And so sure, she can spread the word to others. But seriously, how are you going to know when Jesus appears? We don't have a picture of him. We have lots of people who've painted stuff. We have the actor playing Jesus in the Book of Mormon movies and in the New Testament movie series. But Mormons have no clue what he looks like. There's the myth of the painter who took his painting to Spencer W. Kimball, and Spencer W. Kimball took a look at it and said, "That's the closest." And none of that was true. The real story is something completely different. And notice how the church never uses that picture anymore. They use other pictures now for Jesus. Other paintings. They will not touch that one anymore. I wonder if there was a scandal involving copyright or something. I don't know. I've not seen YouTube recommend that for me. But regardless. And so, if you're just going to go by spiritual witness feeling, you're going to be easily conned. Because you've already been conned by the prophets of this church telling you you're Christian. And that Jesus is your Christ. So, yeah, I've got a Brooklyn Bridge to sell you. Just send me check, money order, direct deposit, whatever. Whatever you can pay. Seriously, do you really like being conned by con men? Because apparently you do. So, William Law will be another one. Anyway, but yeah, that conversation, it took up over 30 minutes. They were wasting my day. The first agent was playing dumb, purposely causing delays, had no interest in solving the problem. And the manager came on, and he didn't want to do anything to help either. He said, just let it be the new normal, get over it. Bleep you. This is what they do every single time. And so it would be like, I approve a comment, and it's still stuck on my held for review page. They don't, I mean, seriously? If I delete it, it's stuck on my held page. What are you doing? I deleted it. I banned them. Hey, I banned them. Why are they still here? I mean, seriously. Are they really that stupid? Or do they think I'm going to be that stupid? Dear God. So, then we'll turn it back around. How will you know if the Jewish Christ is here, Mormons? If Joseph Smith is the founding Jewish Messiah, Ben Joseph, that the Messiah Ben David's going to be a Mormon in the latter days, as 2 Nephi chapter 3 verse 5 says he is, how are you going to know him? He's going to be human just like you. Could be anybody. But now do you understand why Brian David Mitchell changed his name? because he understood. He's not dumb, but he is dumb for what he did. But yeah, that's why he wanted to, do the psycho route. But yeah, thank you, Brother Smart, for getting in contact with Orrin Hatch to get him retested. Oh, he's magically cured now. Wow, psychologists say nobody can be cured of mental retardation. Dear God, and so now he's in prison for the rest of his life. Real simple and easy to do, and Utah chose the abusive way to treat him. Just lock him up, give him the death penalty like Chad Daybell. See, Chad Daybell doesn't know anything about this. He believes Jesus is true. And so then he went on a murdering rampage of zombies. All he had to do was wait for Nelson to give the word that it's in the coming day. It's supposed to be today, Nelson. What's up? It was supposed to be that Saturday, but you missed that one, so I guess it's this one. But he never gave us a date. And that's where you learn. So first we'll go to Matthew, because it's plagiarized in the Book of Mormon also. Bruce R. McConkie didn't put in a chapter heading for us, but apparently it's 3 Nephi 14 is the comparative plagiarism in the Book of Mormon. Now, do you understand why the Book of Mormon is not literal history and therefore plagiarized? They're purposely trying to teach you stuff. And so, verse 15 tells you how to judge, as everybody takes verse 1 out of context. You can't judge me. Yeah, again, verse 15. What are you talking about? I can't judge you. Verse 15. Beware of false prophets. How do you know if they're false? I don't know. I don't know if there's anything in here that would tell us. Keep reading. Which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Thus judge them by their fruits. What is fruit? Mormons say it's seed, with the right feeling. And seriously, guys? You have a seed, an apple seed, in your hand. And so you pray to find out if it's an apple. And your spiritual witness feelings say, yep, it's an apple. And you never bother to plant it to find out, to eat it. And so let's say you did. You prayed, Spirit said it's an apple. So you plant it. You help nurture it and grow it. And in the course of time it sprouts and produces a tree and then blossoms with fruit. And it's oranges. Oops, your spiritual witness feelings led you astray. It's a good seed, but it's not apples, it's oranges. This is what the scriptures are trying to teach you. Run the test on the word. Prophets predict the future. A false prophet can't predict the future. He ends up wrong. Right, Nelson? And with every prophecy, there must be a date, which is called revelation. Revelation is not inspiration. Revelation is the day and the hour. It says so in the Book of Mormon. Mormon, chapter 8, verse 33. As well as Revelation, the book of. And so this is how you will know who your Jewish Christ is. Real simple, real easy. Because Joseph Smith tells you exactly what to look for. Section 107, verses 91 and 92. And again, the duty of the president of the office of the high priesthood. Hey, that was Joseph Smith when he said this word. Is to preside over the whole church. And to be the man like Moses, the Jewish Christ. And so this is how you can judge Joseph Smith and Messiah ben David. Not Christian interpretation. Jewish. Seer, revelator, day and hour. Translator, Paleo, Hebrew, and Egyptian. Prophet, having all the gifts of God, which he bestows only upon the head of the church, not to the 12 who have the keys of Peter, James, and John. What are they doing with the head of the church key? Which is not the head of the church key, it's only the key of Peter, James, and John. It's the seed key. It's not the fruit key. That's the fruit key. Peter, James, and John are the seed key. They plant the word of the Book of Mormon. And the Messiah ben David does the harvesting. By their fruits. Real simple. But this church screws it up to blind you, to cause a stumbling block. You must remove all Christian interpretation when you're studying your scriptures. Not just Joseph in the Book of Mormon, but the Bible too. 2 Nephi 29. A Bible, we've got a Bible. A quad, we've got a quad. You did the same thing. And so run the tests. Find out, who could it be? You need to know the dates. Revelation, start there. Everybody knew Revelation 12, 1 and 2 back in 2017. Why didn't you, Mormons? It's right there at the beginning of the Book of Mormon. And is also in Isaiah. And so that was the date when your Christ would come to you. 2 Nephi 3:5. And you all missed them because this is the latter days are over. You missed him. You were waiting for Jesus, he never showed. You never got to the tree of life. You were in the great and spacious building. And you're mocking and laughing at me. Pulling little pranks on YouTube.